Welcome back to Before You Vote. There is a lot of anxiety in the election, from the battle between Trump and Biden to issues like reproductive rights. There's a lot of anxiety. Dealing with that can be difficult. So joining us right now is the author of Upset is Optional and executive director of Organic and Natural Health Association, Karen Howard. Ms. Howard, thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about the book and some practical things people can do. We want people engaged in the political process. We want them to be informed voters. But along with that information sometimes comes a lot of emotion. How do you deal with the two? How do you balance them?
And you have to balance them because we actually have to have people voting at all levels at all time. And it's easy to check out. So one of the things that I always say is, remember that you carry all your emotions in your body. They're a physical limb to you. So when you're happy and joyful and blowing out birthday candles, you know what that feels like. But we tend to forget that when you carry around this upset in your body, it is there and lingering all day long. So become a better observer. Try not to listen as much. Well, not to not listen, but not to carry it with you. Try not to personalize it. And there are tools that we can use that'll help you do that by reframing conversations that you hear, whether it's during a debate or in a restaurant with friends. So there are things that you can do. You can build a word wall, and you can replace words with words that may run in your head at a great lengths. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. The difficulty is, and I, like you, try to diffuse a situation before it explodes. But if you're talking about a topic or listening to a topic, and you start to feel that build up in you, is there more of it about you controlling yourself than it is changing the behavior or the words of the other person?
You can't change those words. You can't change anyone. All you can do is really reflect on what's happening in your body. So the first thing you need to know is really learn how to breathe. So when you start deeply breathing, and not just from here, but breathing from your diaphragm, like people used to tell you when you were a kid to do, if you were exercising or playing an instrument, then you can begin to feel your body physically relax. And if you can start to do that on a regular basis and wake up, design your day to be peaceful, to be calm, and remind yourself throughout the day, take a rubber band and flick it and say, how's my body feeling? You know, just really hardcore little reminders that can keep us from losing it during the day.
And deflecting
and losing hope.
It seems to be very vitriolic on social media. Do the same principles apply to social media, or is it just kind of not taking seriously what you're reading some anonymous person says?
Well, there is that, but I don't know that actually stops us from reading social media. So that's when I like to play this word game. And if somebody's saying something like deranged, demented, delusional, like, oh, defeatable, like just replace that word with something that as you're reading it and it starts to trigger you, replace it with nonsense words. I started to refer to the candidates because no one's talking about the candidates by name. I've started to refer to them as Mary and Martha, named after two first ladies of the United States. And it diffuses the conversation immediately.
And those tools are better for me. I mean, I don't want to get worked up, but it makes me better at my position if I'm controlled in the way I'm saying what I feel.
And it makes you better as a parent and as a colleague to be able to keep control of your emotions and your feelings so that the people around you aren't infected. Because we carry our emotions on our sleeve, and we do infect people as we go along throughout the day, because we've all been infected by that kind of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
So that's a really important component of being successful at this.
Ms. Howard, all of this information is going to be so useful between now and November and beyond. So I appreciate your time today.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we'll be back here on Before You Vote.